I stand before you today to speak to an issue that I thought was long settled, long ago. So before I go on, I want to just assure some of us, even though I'm not a doctor, and I don't think that most of us here in this room are doctors. We're legislators. We help to make laws. Again, we're not doctors. And probably half of you in here are women. And the other half are not. Personally, I want to make sure that you understand this. Personally, I don't believe in abortions. And I'm a Democrat. Again, personally. But I'm not a doctor. And I'm not the woman on the other side who has to make a decision. I'm not up here trying to tell you what you ought to do with your body and your doctor and your God. I don't have that opportunity. I do, but I choose not to because I believe in choice. And I believe that there are so many children right now. I could just name a couple, but I won't. I live in a community where there are unwanted children who's not being taken care of. And as a matter of fact, in this chamber right here, who's taken monies away from their families. Because according to some of us, they're lazy. They're lazy, good for nothing. Yet some of us are trying to pretend as though we have that right to speak for all women. Let me just say this to those of you who want to make claims that people party and celebrate and make cakes. I don't know what kind of people you deal with. Because there's nobody who I know who's jumping up and down to have an abortion. I don't know of anyone. I really don't. I'm going to read something for you. Please write it down because I want you to do your own research. This is taken out of Science for the Curious in Discover. It's from a December 2005 issue. The subject is called, "When Does a Fetus Feel Pain?" So I'm just going to read a little bit of it to you. With Roe versus Wade, the U.S. Supreme Court gave states the right to legislate abortion restrictions during a woman's second trimester. And by the way, I'm not going to call any of my colleagues' names out, although a couple of speakers back, my name was called out, which is against our House rules. Many states enacted laws that make it more difficult to terminate a pregnancy. Among them Arkansas, Minnesota, and Georgia require physicians to tell women that a 20-week-old fetuses can feel pain during the procedure unless they are somebody help me with this. Yeah, okay. A newly released review of the scientific evidence, however, suggests the premise of those laws is wrong. I want you to listen to this real closely, please. Fetuses cannot feel pain until at least the 28th week of gestation, because they haven't formed the necessary nerve pathways, says Mark Rosen, an OB anesthesiologist at the University of California at San Francisco. And because I'm a woman, born female, and black, I want us to take a travel back in time. Here's a list of some of the major difficulties and oppressions, structures that black slaves had to face when slavery was still around. See if any of them, if you can relate to them as a woman. When slavery was around, slaves had to do the heavy labor. Slaves did the dangerous labor. The lives of slaves were worthless than the lives of their owners. Slaves are only worth something to society if they performed. Slaves did not have a voice in the public sphere. Slaves could not vote. Slaves were confined to home. And slaves could not earn a salary. Do you realize that women have only been voting since 1920? And it took a whole 60 more years before the law was ratified for all people to be able to vote. Why am I mentioning the vote? Because so much has been taken away from women. There was once upon a time where women had to ask their husbands, "Daddy, can I?" Unacceptable. We as women and some of our men counterparts, and I appreciate you so much, we're not going back. Some of you want us to stay down. Some of you want us to stay pregnant and in the kitchen. That's not going to happen. We're not going to allow it. I ain't going back. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that you will vote no on House Bill 4320. Thank you.